If you stay until the end, you'll understand how you can use this equation to sell lots of stuff for lots of money to become unreasonably wealthy. Big picture, there are two things I want to focus on. One is how do you create and sell valuable things. You probably hear people say, hey, provide value, give value away. It's all about value, 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 value. But how do you actually quantify value? What are the things that make something more or less valuable? The second part will be about one of the 5 things you can do to enhance value. Once you have a valuable thing, you can enhance it by adding scarcity, adding urgency, adding bonuses, adding guarantees, or naming it in a way that resonates with the avatar you're trying to sell to. Make sense? By the way, I got this formula from a book written by Alex Hormozi. So, if these 5 things can enhance value, and you have all 5 in the thing you're selling and you're doing them well, you will sell for more than if you didn't have them. So big picture, we're gonna talk about how to deploy and execute value within the things you offer, and also we'll talk about how to reverse risk so that it makes what you're selling more valuable, and also people will not fear that they won't achieve the outcome that you promised them. So I spent a very long time trying to figure out what value meant, trying to kind of quantify it within some sort of parameters so that if you have this, it makes something valuable. And it's because we work with a lot of wrap and sign companies, and I can't really work specifically on each and every product and service that they offer to make things more valuable. That's why I wanted to create a framework that I can just give to them, which will make their product and services more valuable so that they can sell them for more money with higher margins and make us all rich. I wanted to find or create an equation that would encapsulate all of this into a quantifiable bunch of variables. Like if we check these boxes, we're gonna have something more valuable. And I had to do it this way because I cannot, as I said, physically go over and change every single one of the company's products at this point to make them more valuable. So I had to create a process around it. And the 4 variables are as follows. By the way, if you're taking notes, these are the things that you're gonna wanna write down. Number 1 is dream outcome. Is the thing we're promising something people actually want? I'm going to dive into each of these, but first I'm gonna kind of list them all out, and then we're gonna dive into each one of them separately. Think of it as an equation. Draw a line down the middle, and then 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. The first one, as I said, is dream outcome. The second one is perceived likelihood of achievement. So how likely is it in the prospect's mind that they will achieve the result that you've promised them, that you're trying to sell to them? Number 3 is the time component. What is the delay between the time that they pay you the money and they get the result that they paid for? And the fourth one is kind of a double-sided thing, which is effort and sacrifice. So how much effort will it take? What new things do they have to do in order to achieve the outcome that you've promised? And also what things will they have to stop doing that they've been doing up to this point in order to actually achieve the desired outcome and what they've paid for? So these are the 4 things, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. As I'm going through this, I would like you to kind of think of your own products and services and how this could apply to you specifically. I'm going to give you like a big picture back and forth example, and then I'm going to go and dive into each of them specifically. Let's say you have something that you can sell as in terms of car care. Why are there $400 car detailing services, or even there is a spa in Dubai where you leave your car for a week and it costs $15,000? So why can people charge prices like that? And on the other hand, you got like a $5 hand car wash when you go and wash your car on your own. If they basically make the same promise, why is it that one charges $5 and the other one can charge upwards of $15,000? How are these two things so different in price? That's where the other 3 variables come into play, because people want their car like new. That's the dream outcome. Now, that is reason number 1 for that. I mean, if I were to say, hey, do you want to make $1 million? I mean, most people, especially men, would take the $1 million over having their car clean. As a B2B example, as a category, investment things, franchise opportunities, business opportunities, sell for a higher price. By and large, when we have 2 different things like that, we use the dream outcome in order to differentiate between the industries, between the categories of what you're offering. Now, once we have the dream outcome, we have to move on to the rest of the variables in order to make what you're selling more valuable. Let's go into perceived likelihood of achievement. So if you have 2 people selling the exact same thing, let's use auto detailing with like in the car wash example. Let's say detailing guy A has done 10,000 cars and detailing guy B has only done 1 car. Which one are you more likely to go with? Probably the first one, which has done 10,000 cars, because the perceived likelihood of achievement is a lot higher because they've done a lot more. It might even take them less time, but they can charge more. And so think this through in terms of your own products. What is the likelihood of achievement that I'm offering higher than what everyone else is offering? Because this comes into play into people's minds, and that is why some people are able to charge higher prices. So this was the top half, and majority of young business owners, young entrepreneurs kind of focus on this half, myself included, in the first stages of their career. They're trying to make this better. They're trying to give more guarantees, more bonuses, more testimonials, more promises. But I believe now that I've done this for a little bit, that the actual fortunes rely on the bottom side of the equation. Remember, the top side are things that create value, and then the bottom side are things that destroy value. Our goal is to increase the top and decrease the bottom. With time, there's 2 components. What's the time between you paying and actually getting the result? And what is the time for you to start seeing any outcome? So it's like the experience along with it. So for example, even if you start detailing the car, or if you're doing a wrap or a sign of the shop, If you're showing any outcome, if you're showing them progress, for example, the client of the wrap, of the sign of whatever you're doing, people kind of see that something's going on so that they feel more at ease and that something is happening and there's outcome. So I'm starting to see benefit, but might not be the big end goal, but I'm also starting to see benefits as a whole. So if you're doing branding, for example, starting to send the logos, first drafts, etc., etc., this is kind of seeing value. So I'll give you a B2B example and a B2C example. So in a B2B example, let's say you own a sign company. I'm sure this will resonate with a lot of you guys. So if you have two companies that are both side by side, and both of them say, hey, I'm gonna do a full rebranding of your business, but one of them, company A, says, so now we're gonna have to start doing workshops, you're gonna have to start recording videos, we're gonna have to be on 1 hour meetings 3 times a week, we're gonna have to start doing that, but after 60 days you will get all of your assets done. And at day 60 you have your sign up on the storefront, you have all of your new logos, everything is done. And sign shop number 2 is, yeah, we already know what you want, incredibly quick to create the logos and all the assets, and we can have your sign up and getting installed within seconds. Same product, time collapse. There was a mentor that once said the easiest way to sell a product is to look at what everyone else is selling and then deliver the same outcome for half the time. And so when we're thinking about products, is there a way that we can decrease the TTV, which is the time to value? So one huge thing we focus on when we bring a company into Veritas is actually looking at that exactly. And before I say my company is different, it doesn't really mean that you have to deliver the big results first. You just have to deliver a result fast. You want to have a tangible outcome that someone can experience. So if it's a rebranding, it's like sending them the logo, sending them something that they can see that's going on, that they see progress, that they see a result. Or if you're a wrap installer, think that you have, even if it takes 2 weeks or a week to actually install a wrap, you can kind of send them progress photos. You can send them stuff that's already working to showcase the outcome and that it's happening fast. Also, you can ask yourself, are there other things that I can do along the journey that I can provide more value to the customer through? Sometimes, even if it's not something expensive that you implement, it can actually work to actually get a higher price in the overall offer. So in a B2C example, let's say I'm trying to get a wrap for one of my cars, right? Let's say it says like 10-minute car wrap, and then I click the button buy, and then after 10 minutes, I go outside, I look outside my driveway, and I'm like, holy, my car's in a new color. How much more valuable would it be if I were able to have a new wrap within 10 minutes? Infinitely valuable, right? When we figure out ways to deliver the outcome to our customers sooner or faster, they will value it a lot more. Not just a little bit more, a lot more. Speed is the best of all time competitive advantage. And so the last one is effort and sacrifice. I said it's two sides of the same coin. So one is to actually start doing new things that will deliver the outcome they want. And the second thing is for them to stop doing things that they've been doing that they should not be doing or that aren't getting them closer to their goal. So like in that branding example I just gave with the agency, let's say you have agency A and agency B. Agency 1 says we can start working together, but in order to get your ads, we're going to have 3 meetings a week. We're going to have to record a bunch of new videos. You're going to have to record a bunch of new assets. We'll do all the branding, all the videos. We'll have a lot of meetings, a bunch of time, and in 60 days, we will have all of your branding materials. Versus the other agencies, like, yeah, we already tested all the funnels, already tested all the ads that work. Just send us the images. We will take care of the rest. You just pass that on and it's taken care of. So how much more valuable is the guy who takes no effort and sacrifice? It takes no effort on your part for the outcome to occur. So again, I want you to think of all of these 4 variables within your own business, in your own product. When we have the effort and sacrifice goal, just like time, we want to decrease it. And also, if we're repeating the same activities with every single one of our customers, how can we streamline that? How can we predict what's going to happen? How can we make 3 sales calls into 1? How can we make 1 sales call into a checklist? How can we streamline the process so that it's seamless and effortless, and ideally, it's immediate for them to achieve the result? So again, as I said, there's 4 variables within the equation. You got a big dream outcome of what people are going to experience. They believe the likelihood that they're going to experience it is very high. 3 at a time they have to wait between when they buy and when they get the result is as short as possible, or the effort and sacrifice is 0. And when you put those 4 together, you have a valuable product. So and when I said the bottom half is where you make the more valuable thing, because it's very easy to throw more testimonials, make bigger promises, and it's much harder to have operational effectiveness to drive results faster and decrease the effort and sacrifice in time that people need to get their achieved goal. And so the competitive modes that exist in the big businesses are in that bottom side of the equation. For example, Netflix took over Blockbuster. You no longer have to drive 15 minutes to the Blockbuster, go and physically pick out the CD or the movie that you want, then go watch it. Then after a couple of days, you have to go back and return it. Netflix made it instant. They just got rid of all of that. You just pick up your phone and start watching. But the actual dream outcome and perceived likelihood of achievement in both of those are they were going to watch a movie or a TV show. It's actually very high, right? Top half was the same, but then the bottom half is where the whole difference was made. Also, if you look at Amazon, they made purchasing seamless in 2 angles. One, we can buy with the click of a button, And 2, you get fast shipping overnight. And they also continue to shrink the time gap. They also increase perceived likelihood of achievement by adding all of the reviews. So people believe that when they buy the thing, it's gonna get them the result they want. They believe it because of all of the reviews that they can see. And also because of the time they get is immediate. It's not really immediate, but they get it incredibly quick. And the same thing with effort and sacrifice. They don't have to go through, do all of the checkouts all the time. Don't have to physically go to the store to buy and then bring back the product. They just order it and it shows up to their doorstep. And ultimately, that's how Amazon is able to beat everyone, because they provide value. In conclusion, understanding the value equation is crucial for creating and selling valuable products that you can sell for more and with higher margins. Recap: the equation consists of 4 parts. 1, top left, dream outcome. 2, top right, perceived likelihood of achievement. Then at the bottom on the left is time, and then on the right is effort and sacrifice. By focusing on enhancing these variables, i.e. increasing the top half and decreasing the bottom half, you can increase the value of what you offer. So remember, it's not just about making big promises and building credibility. These are important, but the fortunes lie in decreasing the time between when someone pays and when they get the outcome, and decreasing the effort and sacrifice that they have to put in order to actually get the product or service that they paid for. By delivering results faster, minimizing effort and sacrifice, and making everything streamlined, you can actually build a competitive advantage.